My beloved child, pause for a moment and feel the shift in the air around you, because what you are about to understand may completely transform the way you see the person living next door. This is not about panic. It is not about suspicion. It is about awareness. There is an energy near you that has been influencing your thoughts, your emotions, and even the direction of your decisions in subtle ways. Don't skip this. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not what you think. You believed your neighbor was simply a background character in your story, someone whose footsteps you occasionally hear, whose door you see open and close, whose presence blends into the routine of your days. But what if I told you that proximity is never accidental? What if the universe places certain people near you not to harm you, but to awaken you? The danger you are in is not physical, not dramatic, not chaotic. It is the danger of remaining unaware. It is the danger of absorbing energy without questioning it. It is the danger of shrinking your light because someone close by feels unsettled by it. For weeks, maybe months, you have felt a subtle pressure. A heaviness you cannot explain. A hesitation before you speak about your dreams. A slight dimming of your excitement when you step outside. You told yourself it was nothing. You told yourself you were imagining it. But deep inside, you sensed a shift. The atmosphere around your home changed. And the truth is, environments carry emotions. Walls remember tones. Spaces hold vibrations. Your neighbor has been going through silent storms, and without realizing it, you have been absorbing echoes of their unrest. Don't misunderstand this. This is not about blame. It is about boundaries. When someone nearby is struggling with jealousy, comparison, insecurity, or quiet frustration, it can ripple outward. And if you are sensitive, intuitive, or deeply empathetic, you feel it first. You may start doubting yourself. You may start second-guessing your plans. You may start wondering why your motivation feels inconsistent. The serious danger is not that someone wishes you harm. The serious danger is that you begin lowering your frequency to match an energy that was never yours to carry. Stay till the end, because the revelation is unexpected. The presence of this neighbor in your life is not a curse. It is a mirror. Something in your growth has triggered something in them. Your progress, your peace, your silent discipline, it has highlighted their own unhealed areas. And instead of consciously dealing with it, their energy has been leaking into the shared space between you. You felt it. You sensed it. But you ignored it because you are kind. You are understanding. You try to see the best in people. But kindness without awareness can quietly drain you. There were moments when you planned something exciting, and suddenly your enthusiasm dipped for no clear reason. There were days when you felt observed, not in a threatening way, but in a way that made you shrink slightly. You adjusted your brightness. You softened your laughter. You avoided certain conversations near your door. You thought it was courtesy. In reality, you were subconsciously protecting yourself from discomfort. This is the danger. The gradual adjustment of your authentic self to keep the atmosphere calm. Something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. The neighbor is not the enemy. The lesson is. The lesson is about energetic sovereignty. About realizing that not everyone who stands close to you is aligned with you. And that is okay. Their journey is different. Their timing is different. But you must not compromise your expansion to maintain invisible peace. Look closely at the pattern. Whenever you step into a new level, whether it is confidence, opportunity, or inner clarity, you notice subtle tension next door. Doors close a little harder. Conversations become slightly colder. Smiles feel thinner. It is not dramatic. It is not confrontational. It is quiet. But your spirit feels it. And instead of rising above it, you tried blending in. Don't skip this part. Because this is where everything changes. The serious danger you are in is the danger of shrinking your destiny to avoid making someone uncomfortable. You have been dimming yourself in small ways. Playing safe. Reducing your visibility. Avoiding celebration. You convinced yourself it was maturity. But deep down, you knew it was restraint born from external energy. You were not meant to live small to make someone else feel stable. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation: the discomfort around you is proof of your expansion. The tension you feel is evidence that you are outgrowing environments that once felt neutral. Your neighbor's energy is not stopping you. It is signaling you. Signaling that you are entering a new phase where your awareness must become sharper. This is not about confrontation. It is about calibration. When you walk outside, walk fully. When you speak about your dreams, speak clearly. When you feel joy, express it naturally. Not to provoke. Not to compete. But to remain aligned with yourself. The moment you stop adjusting to invisible pressure, the danger dissolves. Because the danger was never external. It was internal compromise. Stay till the end, because there is more beneath the surface. There is a deeper layer to this connection. Sometimes the people closest in proximity are catalysts. Your neighbor's silent reaction to your growth has forced you to question your own confidence. It has pushed you to strengthen your boundaries. It has made you aware of how easily external moods can influence your inner world. Without this experience, you might never have learned how powerful your sensitivity truly is. You are not weak for feeling it. You are perceptive. But perception must be paired with protection. Not protection from harm, but protection from absorption. You must choose what you carry. You must decide which emotions are yours and which are reflections of someone else's internal struggle. Imagine this. What if the tension you feel is simply the universe testing whether you will shrink or shine? What if this neighbor is unknowingly playing a role in your spiritual elevation? The title says beware, and yes, you must beware, but not of them. Beware of losing yourself. Beware of internalizing energy that does not belong to your path. Beware of silence that suppresses your authenticity. Something huge is waiting for you in this shift of perspective. Because the moment you reclaim your full presence, the dynamic changes. Energy reorganizes itself around certainty. When you stop reacting internally, when you stop overanalyzing glances or tones, when you stop dimming your light, the atmosphere recalibrates. You become stable. And stability disrupts silent tension. This is your awakening moment. Not dramatic. Not explosive. Quiet but powerful. The neighbor's presence was never meant to intimidate you. It was meant to initiate you. To show you that growth requires resilience. That expansion invites reaction. That brightness sometimes unsettles those still adjusting to their own shadows. Do not resent them. Do not fear them. Simply rise beyond the invisible influence. Don't skip what comes next in your own life. Stay till the end of this realization. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is your unfiltered self stepping fully into the open air without hesitation. Part 1 ends here, but the unfolding truth has only begun. There is a moment just before sunrise when everything is quiet, yet everything is shifting, and that is exactly where you are right now. You thought Part 1 revealed the truth, but this is where the deeper layer unfolds. Don't skip this. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is far more personal than you imagined. You have started noticing subtle changes. The atmosphere feels different, not heavier, but clearer. When you walk past your neighbor's door, your heartbeat is no longer uncertain. Instead, there is awareness. And awareness is power. The serious danger was never about what they were doing, it was about what you were unconsciously allowing. You were adjusting your energy to keep things comfortable. You were filtering your joy. You were lowering your volume so that someone else's insecurity would not be triggered. But here is the shocking truth. The moment you stopped shrinking, the tension began dissolving. Energy responds to certainty. When you reclaim your inner authority, the invisible dynamics around you reorganize themselves. Your neighbor may not even realize how their unspoken comparisons were affecting you. They may not even understand why your confidence unsettled them. Because sometimes people are not reacting to you personally, they are reacting to what your growth reveals within them. This is not about superiority. It is about alignment. Think about the times you hesitated to celebrate your progress. The times you dimmed your excitement about a new idea. The times you chose silence over expression. You believed you were being considerate. In reality, you were negotiating with your own expansion. That is the danger the title warned you about. The slow erosion of self-expression under the pressure of proximity. But now something extraordinary is happening. You are beginning to stand fully in your own space without apology. And as you do, you may notice something surprising. The atmosphere feels lighter. Conversations feel more neutral. The glances feel less charged. Why? Because when you stop internalizing external tension, you remove its fuel. What once felt intimidating becomes irrelevant. Stay till the end, because the revelation is even deeper. Your neighbor's presence is teaching you a master lesson in energetic boundaries. Not walls. Not avoidance. Boundaries. The ability to remain compassionate without absorbing. The ability to be kind without compromising. The ability to shine without shrinking. And here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization: this pattern was not limited to your neighbor. It has appeared in other areas of your life too. In friendships where you downplayed your wins. In rooms where you softened your brilliance. In conversations where you pretended not to know your worth. The neighbor was simply the clearest mirror. Something huge is waiting for you in this understanding. You are stepping into a phase where your light will no longer ask permission to exist. And when that happens, two things occur. Some people recalibrate and rise with you. Others distance themselves quietly. Neither outcome is a loss. Both are alignment. Do you feel that shift inside you? That quiet firmness? That steady calm replacing the old hesitation? That is growth. Not loud. Not dramatic. But undeniable. The serious danger has transformed into serious clarity. You no longer need to analyze every subtle sign. You no longer need to decode every tone. You no longer need to protect your joy by hiding it. Your energy belongs to you. Your dreams belong to you. Your expansion does not require external approval. Don't skip this final insight. The neighbor's role in your life was never to block you. It was to awaken you. To show you that your sensitivity is a gift, but only when paired with strength. To reveal that your brightness is powerful enough to stir reactions. To teach you that you are not responsible for managing how others feel about your growth. And now that you see it, everything changes. Walk freely. Speak confidently. Celebrate fully. Not in defiance. Not in comparison. But in authenticity. The atmosphere around you will continue to shift as you stabilize in your truth. What once felt like danger becomes distance. What once felt like pressure becomes proof of progress. Stay till the end of this journey within yourself, because this is only the beginning of a larger awakening. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the version of you that refuses to dim, refuses to shrink, and refuses to live smaller than your destiny. Right now, in this very second, an invisible line is being drawn between who you used to be and who you are becoming. Feel that. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is awareness reaching its peak. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and it will redefine what danger truly meant in your life. You once believed the warning in the title was about protection from someone else. But now you see the deeper layer. The real danger was living unconsciously in shared energy, adapting yourself in subtle ways to maintain an invisible balance. You were negotiating with silence. You were adjusting your posture, your tone, even your ambitions, to avoid disturbing the emotional climate next door. It was so subtle that you barely noticed it happening. That is how powerful unspoken influence can be. But here is the revelation that changes everything. The shift you feel now is not just internal, it is radiating outward. The moment you chose awareness over assumption, strength over shrinkage, something recalibrated. You started walking differently. Not arrogantly. Not defensively. But solidly. Your steps felt grounded. Your thoughts felt clearer. And in that clarity, you realized something shocking. Your neighbor's energy only had power because you gave it interpretation. Interpretation creates intensity. When you labeled their silence as judgment, it felt heavy. When you labeled their distance as dislike, it felt personal. But what if their quietness was simply their own inner process? What if the atmosphere you feared was only a reflection of your own sensitivity amplifying subtle cues? Stay till the end, because this realization is life-altering. You are discovering that awareness without assumption is freedom. And here is where it becomes powerful beyond expectation. When you stopped internalizing their presence, you began seeing opportunities you had overlooked. Conversations felt easier. Ideas flowed faster. Creativity returned. Your mind was no longer occupied with silent analysis. The energy you once spent decoding tension is now fueling your expansion. Something huge is waiting for you in this reclaimed focus. The serious danger was distraction. The quiet drain of attention. The emotional bandwidth consumed by subtle overthinking. And once that distraction dissolves, your potential multiplies. You begin to understand that your environment does not control your frequency, you do. Imagine this. What if your neighbor was never meant to intimidate you, but to sharpen you? What if this experience was a training ground for higher rooms, bigger platforms, deeper influence? If you can hold your light steady here, in close proximity to contrast, then you are ready for greater visibility. Don't skip this truth. Your growth was tested quietly. Not through loud conflict. Not through obvious opposition. But through subtle emotional pressure. And you passed the test the moment you chose self-alignment over self-doubt. Now notice something extraordinary. As you stabilize, the dynamic shifts again. The energy next door feels less relevant. Perhaps even neutral. Maybe even respectful. Because confidence without aggression commands quiet acknowledgement. When you stop reacting internally, external reactions soften naturally. This is the once-in-a-lifetime shift. You are no longer living in reaction. You are living in intention. And that changes everything. The title warned you to beware, and you did. But instead of guarding against someone else, you guarded your authenticity. Instead of fearing proximity, you mastered presence. Stay till the end, because this final layer is powerful. The universe sometimes places mirrors close to us so we cannot ignore what they reflect. Your neighbor reflected your tendency to dim. To adapt. To overanalyze. And now that pattern is breaking. You are stepping into a version of yourself that does not seek approval from silence. Feel the calm rising inside you. Feel the steadiness. That is not coincidence. That is evolution. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not outside your door. It is within you. It is the realization that no external presence can define your internal power. That awareness is protection. That clarity is strength. That authenticity is freedom. And from this moment forward, you walk differently. Not because your neighbor changed, but because you did. Tonight, As the world around you grows quiet, a deeper truth is stepping forward, and it is asking you to see everything differently. What you once thought was tension was transformation. What you once thought was danger was awakening. Don't skip this. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and it will seal everything you have discovered so far. You have changed. Not in a loud, dramatic way. Not in a way that demands attention. But in a way that shifts the atmosphere when you enter a space. The energy that once felt heavy around your neighbor now feels neutral, almost distant. And that is not because they transformed overnight. It is because you stopped feeding the invisible narrative in your mind. You stopped shrinking. You stopped adjusting your brightness. You stopped interpreting silence as opposition. And here is the surprising revelation. The moment you reclaimed your presence, you became untouchable in the most peaceful way possible. Untouchable not because you built walls, but because you built awareness. Untouchable not because you avoided proximity, but because you mastered perception. The serious danger in the title was never about what someone else could do. It was about what you might unconsciously surrender, your confidence, your joy, your expansion. And now that you see it, you cannot unsee it. There was a time when you hesitated before stepping outside, when your mind scanned for subtle signs, when your body reacted to small shifts in tone or posture. But now you walk out with steady breath. You no longer overanalyze glances. You no longer decode every movement. You have returned your energy to its rightful owner, you. Stay till the end, because this final realization is profound. Your neighbor was never placed in your life as an obstacle. They were placed as a catalyst. A quiet trigger that exposed your sensitivity and invited you to strengthen it. And in doing so, you discovered something rare. Your light does not need protection through hiding, it needs protection through grounding. Something huge is waiting for you in this grounded state. When you are grounded, comparison cannot shake you. When you are grounded, silent tension cannot disturb you. When you are grounded, proximity loses its power to influence your internal world. You become the calm center in your own environment. And once you reach that point, everything reorganizes around your stability. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime shift: the danger was actually an invitation to elevate. An invitation to stop living reactively. An invitation to claim emotional independence. An invitation to grow beyond subtle intimidation and into quiet authority. Look at yourself now. The hesitation is gone. The self-doubt is fading. The need to adjust is dissolving. You are no longer managing the emotional temperature of shared space. You are simply existing in authenticity. And authenticity carries a frequency that does not compete, does not provoke, does not diminish. It simply stands. Don't skip this final truth. There will always be people in close proximity who are at different stages of growth. Some will feel inspired. Some will feel challenged. Some will remain neutral. But your responsibility is not to control their reaction. Your responsibility is to remain aligned with your own expansion. And now you understand the title completely. Beware, not of others, but of forgetting who you are in their presence. Beware of adjusting your brilliance for the comfort of comparison. Beware of shrinking your vision to maintain invisible peace. Because from this moment forward, you will not shrink. You will walk fully. You will speak clearly. You will celebrate quietly but confidently. You will exist without apology. And the atmosphere around you will continue to respond, not because you demand it, but because you embody stability. Stay till the end of this journey within yourself, because something huge is waiting for you, and it is the version of you who is no longer influenced by subtle pressure, no longer distracted by silent tension, no longer afraid of proximity.